everyone. Today I am going to start your first chapter of history, that is how, when, and where. Students, I have divided this chapter in different topics. These topics are also mentioned in your NCERT book. So, if you having the book, please see these topics as it will help you to understand the topics in a better way. So, let's begin the chapter. The first topic mentioned in your book is how important are dates. In this topic, we will see the importance of the dates in history. Okay, so we will start the topic. Students, history is certainly about the changes that occur over the period of time. Means in history we read about all those changes that occur over a period of time. So if we say history is a synonym with the dates, it will be not wrong, as in history we study about the dates and the events. So the second point is we compare the past with the present. In history, with the presence of the dates, we can compare the past with the present. The third point is we study dates to find out the sequence of the event and the significance. It means importance of that particular events. It means if we having the dates of our past, so we all are able to find the sequence of the different events and the significance or the importance of that particular event. Okay, now the second topic in your book is which dates. In this topic we see these three important points. The first one is the selection of date depend on the story of past. Means in which year or in which time period the particular event or an incident was occur, we came to know through the dates. Okay, so the second point is focusing on the particular set of event is important. It means if we having the date of any particular event, so we all were able to set our emphasis or our focus on that particular event which occurred on the different dates. The third point is the studying or by studying the dates, reasons and the consequences of the events are understood in a better way. This is very important point. The students, in history dates having a very great importance. So by studying the dates, we all are came to know about the consequences or the reasons which were responsible for the events that occur in the past. Means if we having the dates, so we all were able to understood the reasons and the consequences of the events in a better way which occur in the past time. Okay, now topic third in your book is how do we periodize the history. Students, different historians they have periodized the history in different categories. So in this chapter they have given you the example of a Scottish historian, that is James Mill. Students, James Mill, a Scottish economist and a political philosopher, published a massive 3-volume work, A History of British India. In that book, Mill divided the Indian history into 3 different periods, that is Hindu, Muslim and the British. Means these 3 periods he just tried to show the progress in the Hindu civilization or India as a country. So he categorized the Indian history into 3 different periods, that is Hindu, Muslim and the British. According to Mill, only the British rule culture and the laws could make the Indian civilized. Means in his book he condemned both Hindus and the Muslim time period, and he praises the British rule in India, as according to him it was the British rule who make the Indians civilized and cultured. Students, there are significant sources study the periods of events, and by studying the different historical evidences a string of time period can be formed. So in this topic James Mill and his periodization of Indian history is very important, so you just please see this topic also. Now the fourth topic of your book is what is colonial. Students, those countries who were under the dominant rule of some European powers, all those countries are called the colony. Okay, it means all those countries who were subjected to the powerful countries of Europe and the other continents, they all were considered as colony. For example, we can say that India is a colony of the Britishers. Okay, so in this topic we will see about the colonization. So first of all we should know that what is colonization. So students, when the subjection of one country by another country leads to change in the social, cultural, economic and the political spheres, it led to the colonization. Means when the subjection of a country by another brings the changes in the social, cultural, economic and the political sphere, it led to the colonization. As the British rule brought about all these changes and the values or the taste and customs and the practices in the Indian culture. So in this prospect we can say that India was a colony of the Britishers during that phase, as the British rule brought about the changes in the values, taste, customs and the practices prevails in India. As you have already read in the earlier classes, especially in class 7, that the Britishers, by passing so many laws, they just try to make changes in the Indian society. Okay, now the fifth topic of your book is how do we know about the administration. Students, there were so many things by which we came to know about the British administration of that time. So we will start this topic with these following points. One of the important source is the official records. Today also all the governments, they keep the official records. So official record is one of the most important source to know about the administration of that time. Okay, the British felt all important documents and the letter needed to be preserved, as they believe that all those things they may be required in the future. So they started to keep the official records. So to preserve all those records, they started to let the formation of the institutions like archives and the museums. These two institutions they established for keeping the official records. Okay, but the thing is that administrative sources only represents the half of the picture, as they all were written and maintained by the British officials. Student, this is the biggest flaw in the official records, that they represent only the half of the picture, as the most of the official record, or in fact almost all the official records, were written and maintained by the British officials, so they were biased. So if we see several other sources like the newspaper studied together, means if we study the official records and the local newspapers of that time, it will give a better picture of administration during the British period. Okay, now the sixth topic in your book is sources of information, means what are the different sources of information by which we came to know about the British administration in India. So students, official records, letters, memos, surveys, newspapers, magazines, autobiographies, reports, novels, poems these are some important sources by which we took the information about the British rule in India. Means the study of all those things or the sources bring the better picture of the British administration or the British rule in India. Okay, so the next one is these sources kept and written by both Indians and the British officials. Okay, means all these sources which were mentioned above here, such type of sources were written by both the Indians and the British officials. Now we will see the last topic of your chapter, that is what do official record not tell. Students, this is also very important topic of this chapter. So in this topic we will see what exactly the official record not tell to us. As I have already told you that official records are maintained by the British officials. Okay, so those records give us only the half of the picture. Okay, we will see what do official records not tell us. Okay, so the first point is the official records do not tell us about the needs of the people. As these records are maintained by the British officials, so those records only keep the things which were associated with the administrations. Such record do not tell us about the needs and the wishes of the people. Okay, the second point is many official records hide the truth and not show the one aspect of the event. As most of the official records are maintained by the British officials, so they hide the truth and only show one aspect of any particular event. The third one is the official records also does not represent the fall out of the British Empire or the administration. Means most of the official records, they didn't show the flaws or the demerits in the British administration. So these are the major flaws in the official records. Okay, students, in this chapter I just try to make you understand these topics which were mentioned in your NCERT book. So if you having any problem, you can ask me, and please see the question answers also which I have already given you in your WhatsApp group. Still, if you having any problem, you can ask me personally. Okay, and it's my request to you, please see these topics in your NCERT book also. It will help you to know these topics in a better way. So please see these topics in your books also. Thank you.